Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and obviously the Pokemon TCG has developed a lot over the course of its history, and recently I made a video about the best card of every HP value in Standard, and a lot of people really like that video, and in fact some people wanted me to do it for all time as well, so I figured I'd do that today. And this I need to talk about my criteria first, of course, because it's kind of complicated, right? Of course, the Pokemon TCG, as I said, has changed a lot, and notably power levels have gone up over time. It's not entirely linear, and I think there's some misconception about it, but it is true, and you'll actually see that very clearly throughout this video as we progress through the video, because we're going from low to high, the cards will get from older to newer. That being said, I wanted it to be cards based on like how good they were during their era, as in when they were in standard as opposed to expanded. This doesn't matter too much for that many cards, but it matters for some. Ultimately, the criteria gets kind of weird. For example, there's a card Uxie, which is essentially objectively better than the card Shaman EX in what they objectively do, but in terms of how good they were in Standard, Shaman EX was better than Uxie. They were both good, but Shaman EX is more meta-defining than Uxie. Additionally, I'm less familiar with the older cards. Essentially, as we get older, the less familiar I get, except for very old, where, things are kind of talked about a bit more there, but I do want to preface that before we get into things, but I think I know like a decent amount, and I've done a good chunk of research as well. But if you disagree with me, leave that down below in the comment section. There are obviously a lot of HP values to get through in this video, so I will be not really talking about honorable mentions and not breaking things down as much. Because there's so many cards to get into, but I will break down some. So let's hop right in with the first card here, Cleffa, the best 30 HP Pokemon of all time. This one, I don't think it's too debatable here. Cleffa is a baby Pokemon. It's also a basic Pokemon. And the baby rule, if you aren't familiar with this rule, these Pokemon, if they're in the active, your opponent needs to flip a coin before they attack. Essentially, they're like always confused. They don't damage themselves, but they can't attack half the time. So that was really powerful. And then you also have Eek for one colorless. You shuffle your hand to your deck, draw 7. You have free retreat, no weakness or resistance. This is how the babies worked at the time. This card is one of the best cards of all time, or at least Pokemon, probably top 5, I'd imagine. Though it is obviously, as I was saying, there's a lot of weird criteria, and it's kind of hard to rank them. And if you look at this today, it's like, I mean, it's a similar power level as it would be. It's not like power level matters too much for this card. But it's not the splashiest card, but it is very, very, very good. Definitely the best one. I don't think there's anything super close. There have been some good 30 HP Pokemon. There are some good ones in Standard, but I don't know if there's anything quite at this level. Moving on to 40 HP, this is one of the harder ones in my opinion, because I feel like this one's one of the weaker categories. I went with Mr. Mime here with the Pokemon Power Invisible Wall. This is a Pokemon Power. It's not an ability. Limitless is actually wrong on this. I'm pretty sure it's a Pokemon Power. There's some weird stuff. It doesn't really matter. It essentially functions the same. But anyways, whenever an attack does 30 more damage to Mr. Mime after applying weakness resistance, you prevent that damage. And then these can't be used if the Pokemon is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. This is just like a thing that we'll see a bunch, but it doesn't really matter. Then you have an attack that does 10 more for each damage kind of on the defending Pokemon. Obviously, the thing you're looking at here is the ability or the Pokemon power. I said it's not an ability, but it doesn't matter. I'll probably call an ability by accident. But anyways, yeah, you're like an absurdly good tank or like wall. This card actually kind of crazy today. Like almost nothing could hit this, except for Monkey Dory. Yeah, maybe this wouldn't be crazy today, because people are playing a lot of Monkey Dory and things kind of like that. So that would do. That would get through this, but it is obviously a good wall. Again, there aren't any other amazing competitors. There's like Ditto Prism Star or something, but those are very different. It's really hard to compare to each other, but I do think Mr. Mime's a little better. Obviously a very old card here as well. From Jungle, the second set ever there. Wait, yeah. Then we have the next card here, Erica's Jigglypuff. I talked a little about Cleffa already, but Erica's Jigglypuff was really powerful. Cleffa kind of countered it. But Erica's Jigglypuff, the best 50 HP Pokemon here for one colorless. You can put each remove 1 damage counter from each of your Pokemon with damage counters on them. But then you have Pulled Punch for 2 colorless. If the defending Pokemon has no damage counters on it, it does 40. Otherwise, it does 10. The idea is you turn 1, go first, I think, yeah, and then you attack and just win with a double colorless. It was like really powerful, and you just like end the game's turn 1. Cleffa kind of countered this, so Yeah, it was really powerful. I think 50 HP doesn't have great competitors either, though there have been like some decent ones. So I'm blanking on them right now. I mean, nothing all-time great, I don't think. But Erica's Jigglypuff is all-time great and kind of annoying as well. Moving on to what the best 6 HP Pokemon here. That is Sneasel. Sneasel, I think, is this one is much more competitive. There have been some very powerful 6 HP Pokemon throughout the history of the Pokemon TCG. I went with Sneasel. Sneasel was, I believe, banned. And yeah, I mean, Sneasel is very powerful. I will say banning does not hurt the card for this video. Sometimes I kind of treat it that way. Like if a card was banned, it wasn't played as much because it was banned. I'm not taking that into account here. But Sneasel here for notably 2 Darkness. You flip a coin for each of your Pokemon in play, and then it does 20 for each head. And also for your tree, it's resistance to Psychic. For 1, you can flip 3 coins, 10 for each head. But yeah, this was like really powerful. There's not too much more to say about this card beyond the surface of it, other than it was very good. There was some like weird energy stuff, but that doesn't really matter here today. This card was very powerful. It is an all-time great card, as most of these cards in this video, of course, are. Moving on to 7 HP, this one was potentially the hardest. I don't know if it was the hardest. By the way, in making this video, I went from old to new, and so obviously I kept Hitmonchan the whole time. Being from base set here, this is the original good deck. The original, like, kind of absurdly good deck. You get Jab for 1 fighting, you do 20. For fighting colorless, you do 40. This is like the perfect example of a card that looks like super terrible today, right? Like if this was printed standard, I mean, I could see this being printed standard, but it's not like very good, right? It's like kind of, it's very, very underwhelming. It's less bad, but yeah, when this came out, it was like the best deck in the game, paired with some other Pokemon as well, like Electabuzz, notably there. There's also Scyther, but I think Hitmonchan's like the face of the deck. This is more symbolic than it is good. Not that it isn't good, but like there are cards like Uxie and some other very powerful 7 HP Pokemon. This was definitely the most stacked category, I'm pretty sure. 6 HP was up there as well. The Hitmonchan, just a really, really all-time good card, an all-time great card in terms of like when you think of all-time greats, you kind of think of Hitmonchan as the original all-time great. Moving on to the next card. This one is Slowking. I kind of didn't want to include Slowking. It has 80 HP here. This is a card that I mean, okay, so if we open up Hitmon, oh, never mind. Okay, well, anyways, this card got mistranslated if you didn't know. And so it says whenever your opponent plays a trainer, you flip a coin. If heads, it does nothing. Then it's returned to the top of their deck. You have like an attack here. Oh, that's not the right card. So you have an attack here. This is the attack isn't very good, but the ability or the Pokemon power is absurdly good. You just get a bunch of slow kings. I mean, even 1, like your opponent can't play half their trainers. If it's 2, they can't play a quarter. If it's 3, they can't play an eighth. If it's 4, they can't play a 16th, which is like all of them pretty much. So, yeah, you just play a bunch of these, and your opponent can't like do anything essentially. Of course, as I said, this was mistranslated. It wasn't supposed to do this. It was only supposed to work in the active, which would have been like pretty fair, I think. But that's not what it did. It's kind of weird. Like, is this really a real card? In my opinion, I mean, I guess it was. You could play this card. They didn't errata things back then, so yeah, I guess this is a thing. It was like super broken, obviously, because it like stops your opponents from playing the game. There have been other cards that stop your opponents from playing the game. A bunch of Vileplumes are like kind of stop them from playing the game. Not as vicious as Slowking, but they also stop you. So like this doesn't. This like just obliterates your opponent. You do need a bunch of these in play, but to make best use of it. But this card is like absurdly, absurdly good here. Then we have 90 HP. This is one where I'm also interested in hearing people's thoughts. I feel like 90 HP was one of the weaker categories, but this card is not bad by any means. It's Mew EX from Legend Maker here. Its ability allows you to, or its Poke Body, which is a Pokemon power, but it's a Poke Body as well. It says, and this isn't EX, well, the modern EX, I believe they're the same, though I'm not actually 100% sure if they're exactly the same or just essentially the same. But anyways, you have the ability, or again, the Poke Body that lets you use all attacks of all Pokemon in play. You still need the necessary energy, but it can also be your opponent's Pokemon. Then you have an attack for 2 energy here that lets you power this Pokemon up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, this card can copy anything. It's literally in the name, is versatile. It's like absurdly versatile. We've seen a lot of cards like this. This, as far as I'm aware, is like the best version of it. I mean, there are different ones. Like comparing this to Draco V-Star, they're pretty different cards. But yeah, this card is very, very, very good. And again, very, very, very versatile. That's what makes it so good. And as I said, we've seen like, I mean, we have a Mew EX in standard with some similarities, but this version is just so good. Moving on to 100 HP, this is Garbodor. This one was actually pretty close between this Garbodor and the other Garbodor, which is essentially the same card. But anyways, we got Garbodor here with the ability Garbotoxin if it has a tool attached to each Pokemon in play in hand, and it is Pile has no abilities except for Garbotoxin. This is like, I think, the best ability lock Pokemon we've seen, unless there's something I'm forgetting. But this card was very good. It shaped a very long era. To be honest, I'm kind of, maybe this is a little unfair bias, but like, as I said, there are two Garbodors. There's one in this one from the Black and White era, then there's one in the X and Y era, and they are different cards, but they are essentially the same, and in most people's minds, they're grouped together. Who are played with similar ideas as well, so that kind of influenced me. But I mean, this guy's very good. The other Garbodor as well, also very very good. I think this one was a little more impactful in the game, maybe. I don't know. Mostly paired with big basics, but just a nasty card here with some counterplay. But I mean, you need to draw into the stuff you need to counter it, like a tool scrap or whatever, without using abilities. So just amazing here, or like annoying but very powerful. Then we have 110 HP. I mentioned this card in the beginning of the video. That's Shaman EX. Shaman EX is another all-time great card. This is actually banned and expanded. I think it's the only card we're talking about today that's banned and expanded. I could be wrong on that one, but you have the ability set up, draw till 6 on the turn you play it. And yeah, I mean, this is very good. Oh, I just realized there's a card I have in this that's wrong, so I'll fix that when I get there. But yeah, Shaman EX lets you draw till you have 6. You have an attack that can like return this to your hand. But the main idea is you're drawing till 6 when you play this. You can use multiple Shaman EXs on your turn. You can also recover them, or like, yes, recover them. You can scoop them up and return them to your hand with effects like Super Scoop Up is the main one that was used in Standard. And I mean, this card's very powerful as just draw. It really synergized with some of the best decks in the format at the time as well. Then we have the best 120 HP Pokemon, which is Feraligatr here. Feraligatr has the ability Downpour, letting you discard water energies from your hand, and then you can do damage based on the number of water energies in your hand, or sorry, in your discard pile. You shuffle them back into your deck, and you do this, right? The idea is pretty simple and straightforward here. This card was very powerful. One of the first good Stage 2 decks, I think, if not like the first. I could be forgetting something again, but this card was like very powerful in the, I believe the first format after the first rotation. So yeah, just a very, very powerful and meaningful card for the game, able to do just a lot of damage here. Then we have we do have this card here. This is Vileplume, the best 130 HP Pokemon of all time. It item locks both players, and yeah, that's it. No tools like with Garbodor, which again is ability lock, but I feel like they are similar. A lot of people, I've heard some people say they aren't, but I feel like, I mean, they're not the same, right? But they have similarities. They're annoying. They annoy me. And anyways, Vileplume is one of these cards, and it's very good. Paired with mostly, I think, basics. Okay, well, this is expanded, but oh no, it wasn't just paired. It was paired with like Decidueye GX. There were some different things it was paired with, but yeah, Vileplume, just a very powerful card here. I'm trying to think of other 130 HP Pokemon that are super good. I can't think of any immediately off the top of my head, but there might be something better as well. Moving on to the next one, 140. I got Magnezone here. This is, or Magnezone Prime, I guess. It's like not in the name, but it's a Pokemon Prime, which isn't a unique mechanic. But anyways, this allows you to draw till you have 6 cards in hand with your Pokepower here. It can't be used if you're affected by a special condition. Again, like a lot of these cards have things like this, specifically older cards. But then you have Lost Burn for 2, which lets you put as many energy attached to your Pokemon as you want in the Lost Zone. It does it does 50 damage for each energy put in the Lost Zone this way. Can do big damage here. Has a good draw ability. I mean, it's well-rounded / powerful. Like well-rounded often means like decent at true rolls. I mentioned PVX in Standard earlier, which is well-rounded. It's like decent at a few different rolls. No, this card though is very good at a few different rolls. It's a great draw. It's a great damage. Just so good. Really amazing card. Really cool card as well for specifically Q, but in general, it's a fun card and a powerful card here. Moving on to 150, I have Emboar. Also, 150 was one of the weaker slots in my opinion. Again, tell me in the comment section if I missed something. I might remake this using the knowledge of the whole community, but we'll see. I'll see what if there's actually like more than like one change or something I need to make. I imagine there's one for card. As I said, there's one I forgot, which I'll get to in a second. But Emboar here lets you accelerate as much fire energy as you want from your hand to your Pokemon. This was paired with a few different decks. Also, this was at a time where Limitless wasn't really reporting as many tournaments, but you get compared with like Magnezone and Rayquaza EX and things like that. So it was pretty powerful as a just a good centerpiece of a deck. We see cards like this, but this is one that I think is the best compared to the cards around it, which again I think are a little weaker there. Then 160 here, I have Dedenne GX. This is one of my favorite cards ever, being completely honest. But I don't think it's. I mean, it's because it's very good, right? It lets you on play, you discard your hand, draw 6. This is more powerful than Shaming EX's draw till 6 ability. You can only use one Dedication's ability each turn, though, and you can't really scoop it up either very easily. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much just use this to reset your hand. It's very powerful in any situation in the game. It is like a bit of a liability, but it's not that bad. This card is absurdly powerful as just like a one-time powerful draw card. When we have the, is this the last card of this era? I'm not sure. But we have Mewtwo EX from Next Destinies here. This one for 2 colorless does a 20 free energy attached to both active Pokemon. This can do obviously a lot of damage. Well, okay, again, this is an older era, but it like did a lot of damage. It also like hit itself for weakness, which made a lot of people just play Mewtwo. And then oh, that's expanded, I think. But Mewtwo EX is just like pretty powerful. We've seen cards like this. This is like the best version of this card. Just a truly dominant attacking Pokemon. Again, one of the like all-time great Pokemon. And yeah, this card is super super good here. Pretty straightforward, but very very powerful. Then for 180 HP, we have another all-time great attacking Pokemon here. Another basic 2-prize EX as well. Seismitoad EX for 2 colorless. Again, just like Mewtwo EX, you do 30, and your opponent can't play any items cards from their hand during the next turn. Another lock card. This card was really nasty, paired with stuff like Shaman EX and various disruptive cards. You could go and play through a lot of your deck and then like really mess with your opponent and then mess with them even more with your attack. And yeah, this card was really good. This is kind of like Badoo in Standard. It's more of a focal point of the deck, having obviously a lot higher HP, doing more damage, and requiring energy though. So it's different, but it has somewhat of a similar role as well. So yeah, just a really really powerful card. Then you have 190 HP. This is the one where I forgot card. And let me, how do I do this? Is competitive. There we go. Looking at these cards, I forgot one big card here, which is, where is it? Genesect V. There we go. Genesect V is very, very powerful. Not sure I forgot this one. I originally had Buzzwole GX, as you saw, but Genesect V is super good, allowing you to draw until you have as many cards in hand as you have Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. This was paired with Mew VMAX. Mew VMAX was an all-time great deck. That being said, the card carrying it was Genesect V. Not that Mew VMAX wasn't good, but Mew VMAX was just good. Genesect V was absurd, allowing you to draw tons of cards. I mentioned Shaman EX earlier. Genesect V is stronger than Shaman EX within the deck it was played in. I'm pretty sure. Of course, it is only in one deck, but it is like absurdly powerful, letting you just draw so many cards every turn. And you also have Technoblast, which is for 3 energy, but you'd copy it with Mew VMAX, and this would be the main attack you're using. There were some other attacking options within the Mew VMAX stack to copy with Mew VMAX, but Genesect V's Technoblast was the main one. So this was both the main attacking or main attack use, as well as the whole really powerful engine of the deck. And yeah, this card is just amazing. One of the all-time great cards. I think it's pretty underrated as well. Not that it's not considered very, very good, but I think it is legitimately like maybe top 10 Pokemon ever. I'm not sure. At some point, tell me in the comment section if you want me to make like a top 10, 100 maybe Pokemon of all time. I did the top like 1,000 of the modern era. That video was like kind of funny. I didn't like rank them. I guess it's worth a watch, but it took me so long to make them. I'm not doing that again. But yeah, Genesect V is very, very powerful. Then at 200 HP, I have Lycanroc GX, which I think is like the best option here. Allowing you to gust when you play. I mean, this card is very good. And then you have like some decent attacks. For 3, you do 110. For 2, you do 50 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon once per game. It's your GX attack there. The ability is good. The attacks are good. It's a well-rounded, like good Pokemon. One of the faces of the fighting decks of this era, as I said, or I showed earlier, there was Buzzwole GX. It's also Baby Buzzwole. There were some other like supporting cards as well. There's Strong Energy and things like that. So yeah, Lycanroc GX, just one of those really powerful cards of this era. Not like a true all-time great, but like definitely a very, very good card. And then we look at another all-time great here for another 2 colorless like we saw earlier. And this is Zoroark GX with the ability trade to discard 1, then you draw 2. Then Riotous Beating does 20 for each of your Pokemon in play. You have a GX stack that does something if you use it, but it just wasn't really used very much, I don't think. But then you did big damage, you drew cards. Comparing this to Standard, the ability, I mean, we see it in Standard, and it's fine / good. I mean, it's a good ability, but it's not like broken. And then you look at the attack. The attack Comparing this to standard, it looks like kind of bad. I think this is the same ability as on Alchemy, or sorry, attack as on Alchemy in standard, but I could be wrong on that. But let's be honest, it doesn't matter. But in this era, yeah, this was like one of the best attacks in the game. Really powerful draw. You could pair this with all sorts of different things because it is just colorless as well. You can have it as the main piece as well. This card was just like so good, super dominant. Also from like a mini set as well, which is kind of weird. I think is it the only card in this list from a mini set? It's not actually, but it is the best. I mean, this card is again an all-time great card. Not like probably not top 10 Pokemon ever, but like I don't know. This card is amazing. One of the defining cards of its era, definitely. I will say I did fall off with the coming of the tag teams, but whatever. That's fine. That happened to a lot of cards. Then we have the best 220 HP Pokemon of all time, which is Zacian V with the ability Intrepid Sword, drawing 3, ending your turn. This is the same as Rotom V, which yeah, that was the last rotation. We saw Rotate, which was a good ability, right? But then Brave Blade here for 3 does 230 and can't attack next turn. So you got a good attack on this Pokemon as well as a good ability, or honestly, no, better than good attack and I'd say like an amazing attack and a good ability slash great ability. This card was just like so amazing. Really defining its era as well, just as a really, really powerful Pokemon here. Moving on to 230, we have Gardevoir GX. And yeah, this card allows you to accelerate fairy energy. Wait, what's that? I don't know. From your hand to one of your Pokemon. Then for one fairy, you do 30 for each energy attached to both actives. And then your GX stack for one fairy, again, once per game. You shuffle 10 cards from your discard into your deck. This card was versatile, powerful, like relatively straightforward. I said it was versatile. It's not the most versatile card ever, but it does accelerate and do damage. You have a cool GX stack as well, but yeah, just a powerful card here. Nothing super flashy, but definitely quite good. Then we have the best 240 HP Pokemon of all time. This is Pikachu and Zekrom GX. This is a card that allows you to, again, it is a 3-prizer. It's like 2 Pokemon here that will see a bunch of tag teams in this area. And yeah, this card allows you to just go ahead and wait, am I missing something? No, it's fine. Okay. So you have what was I gonna say? I've lost my train of thought here. Pikachu and Zekrom GX, you accelerate energy to your board, you do big damage. You go ahead, you can like do this tag bolt, tag team GX attack where you like do big damage and snipe and stuff. You just do like really powerful stuff. And nothing absurd here, I guess. But I mean, compared to look at Zoroark GX, which we just looked at. This card came out very soon after, or pretty soon after it. It's like so much stronger. Yes, it gives up 3 prizes and it's 240 HP, but this card does so much like damage and acceleration. It's amazing. Moving on to 250, we have a really unique Pokemon here. 250 like had a really weird selection of cards, but I went with Wailord EX. This card has an attack that's kind of bad, but it has 250 HP. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, this card is a lot, or it's like a bit older than a lot of cards around it. And I mean, we're in an era of a bunch of 3 prizes, or in terms of HP range, most of them are 3 prizes. This one's just 2 prizes, has really high HP. You'd mostly use this as a wall in the what's Wailord? Is this Wall Stall? Yeah, I think this is Wall Stall. So you got like Wall Stall. You pretty much just leave this in the active, and yeah, that's it. You take hits. You can like heal it. You could attack with it in a deck like Archie's Blastoise if you wanted to, but ultimately this card you just kind of leave there and take hits and heal it, and that was it. Then we have the best 260 HP Pokemon of all time, which I have as Lucario and Melmetal G. I've also forgotten one. I think. I don't know. I'm interested in hearing this one in the comment section. But I think I don't know. I'm changing my mind on the fly. I think this one should probably be Goldenga, right? Or maybe even Blood Rush Luna EX. I think Lucario Melmetal GX wasn't really good, but I think I want to change it here to. I don't even know what to go to between these two. I'll go with Blood Rush Luna EX, I guess. I'm also interested in hearing people's thoughts between this and what was it? And Goldengo EX, but this allows you a Blood Rush Luna EX, of course, a card in standard, a basic with 260 HP, again a 2 price. This is more HP than Wailord EX, and it allows you to attack for cheap if your opponent's taking a bunch of prizes, and you just do big damage. It's a situational but very powerful endgame attacker. Just amazing. When I say situational, it's situational as in the situation is the end of the game, which presumably you're reaching in every game. This card is super good in a wide variety of decks. I mean, as you know, if you play this standard format, you probably know that. Then we have the best 270 HP Pokemon of all time, which I went with Mewtwo and Mew GX. This one here allows you to copy Pokemon in your discard pile, GX or EXs, or on your bench. This allows you to copy Pokemon without having to get them in play, unlike Mew EX, which we talked about earlier. It's relatively similar to outside of that, though. Also, an all-time fun card in my opinion, and pretty much anyone who's played with it. It's super cool, so many different options, and it's a really powerful card as well. Moving on to the best 280 HP Pokemon of all time, it is Arceus and Eglin Palkia GX. This card is a little overrated all time, but it is very good. It allows you to accelerate energy like with Pikachu and Zekrom GX, but the big thing is you have this attack, which again is a once per game attack, but it allows you to take an extra prize on every knockout for the rest of the game, as well as do 30 more damage, which is very powerful. It does put you on a similar pace as if you just took one shots every turn, but also this is like easier to do, right? So yeah, this card is very powerful. Essentially no counterplay, at least in standard. And expanded there is counterplay, but yeah, this card relatively straightforward. Is it relatively straightforward? There's a lot of text on it, but it's if there's 3 sets of parentheses in this GX attack, what is that? Okay, but yeah, you do you set yourself up super well, and it has a lot of different things that could be paired with as well. You know, like Galarian Moltres V and Zacian V and stuff like that. Just some very, very powerful cards there. Moving on to the best 300 HP Pokemon of all time. Oh yeah, by the way, there's no 290 HP Pokemon. I've said this a bunch of times. I think a lot of people know this. It's like random. Not actually sure why. If anyone actually knows why, tell me down below in the comment section, or maybe there's not a reason, but anyways, we got Mega Kangaskhan EX here. This card allows you to draw 2 if it's in the active. It has like a decent attack for 3 colors. I do just quickly want to say, um, if we look at 300 HP Pokemon that have been good, we see, oh, hopefully you don't hear that background noise. We see some like pretty mediocre Pokemon, to be honest. There is Jolteon VMAX. Jolteon VMAX and Arcaldon EX as well. I mean, I feel like Arcaldon is probably the weakest between Mega Kangaskhan and Jolteon and Arcaldon, but I don't know if you think one of those are better, like maybe Jolteon VMAX, but yeah, this one definitely, like, I'm not the Mega Kangaskhan EX is a bad card in standard. I mean, it is good, but it's not like, putting it next to these all-time greats feels wrong, but I do feel like it is a very good card in standard, like at least an A tier. It's not like a true S tier card, but it is very good, or like pretty good. But again, interested in hearing your thoughts down below in the comment section. Moving on to 310 HP, I do have Gardevoir EX. I will quickly mention, I guess I'll do the thing again, show you the other options, especially because this is one that most people are familiar with, probably very familiar with, but looking at 310 HP Pokemon that are competitive, we see that there's a handful here. There's a bunch of YouTube reunions because that's a thing. But there's Mew VMAX, which I mentioned earlier. I don't think Mew VMAX is better than Gardevoir EX. As I said, because Mew VMAX, the deck is a better deck than Gardevoir EX all time, probably. And definitely, it is better by a little bit. That being said, Gardevoir EX is a more important piece to its deck by a bunch than Mew VMAX is, I guess. I mean, Mew VMAX is very important as well, but as I said, Genesect V was the heart of that deck. Gardevoir EX is the heart of its deck, and it's proved itself to be very resilient through the rotation of some of its pieces, right? But anyways, with Gardevoir EX, you accelerate all your energy from Disco Pal into play that it's Psychic. It's like absurdly good. Again, you accelerate all your energy from your Disco Pal. Well, okay, you damage the Pokemon, you accelerate it too, which is actually how it's used in Standard to damage Pokemon, but you accelerate all this energy. I mean, accelerating the energy is still very important. This card is just so absurdly good. Accelerating the most energy we've really ever seen. It's very, very good. Moving on to the best 320 HP Pokemon of all time, I went with Dragapult EX. I feel like this one's just so good. I don't remember if the other contenders were super good, but this one is super good, allowing you to do for 2 energy here, a Fire and a Psychic on a Stage 2 Terra. Dragon Pokemon, you do 200, put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. Yeah, it's good. It does a bunch of damage to the bench, like a reasonable amount. It is disruptive, and then you do a bunch of damage active. It's good. Not too much to elaborate on, but it is very good there. Moving on to the best 330 HP Pokemon of all time, I have Charizard EX. This one is very good as well, allowing you to, just go ahead and do big damage for 2. You accelerate to yourself, though, or to your board, but mostly to yourself there with your ability. It gives you some more utility as well, accelerating to other Pokemon if you want. But the main idea here is going to be accelerate to yourself, do big damage, do 180 to start off with, 31 for each prize your points taken. Again, for just 2 fire, which you accelerate to yourself, then there you just have a good raw stats Pokemon, which is really, really important there. Moving on to the best 340 HP Pokemon of all time, it is Eternus VMAX. Eternus VMAX is very good, allowing you to, I actually recently played this in a video as well, so check that out. Also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss other rankings and like gameplay and stuff like that. But anyways, this one here expands your bench if you have only Darkness Pokemon in play, and then there's some weird combo, but that's not in Standard, or was not in Standard. But you pretty much just do damage based on your Pokemon in play, and then you're able to, just go ahead and do, big damage based on that, get a bunch of them in play. things like that. I keep being distracted by thinking about other ones I should have changed, but this one is fine. I think they're fine. Again, tell me down below in the comment section though if there are any that you think I really missed on, or any ones that you think are really close that I didn't talk about here. Because I guess I said I'm kind of breezing through this. Also, this is a looser video because kind of busy, so sorry about that. But then we have the best 350 HP Pokemon of all time, which I guess is Mega Gengar EX. I'm not gonna lie, this card not very good. The 350 Pokemon are bad. But yeah, this one here, like reduce surprise because you give up and you do like damage. This card like hasn't seen any competitive play. Essentially, I mean it's seen a little bit in Japan, but like very little. So yeah, I mentioned it. It's not that good. Mega Gardevoir EX, in my opinion, best 360 HP Pokemon of all time. This one does damage based on Psychic Energy play in play. It's seen some play. But it's like, let's be honest, not that good. But whatever, it's fine. Then we have the best 370 HP Pokemon of all time. There are actually no 370 HP Pokemon in Standard internationally, though there are some in Japan, so I figured I'd include that. You can't even read this card. Here we go. You get to switch every turn. You like do damage. I don't even think this card is good. I think I ranked in D tier in a tier list, which is like bad. I think the other one is what is it? In not Mega Dream EX. Where is it? Let me find this. It's here, which is Meganium EX. Right, Meganium EX has 370 HP. Did I click on the right thing? Oh yeah, or Mega Me. Oh, it is. Yeah, that's 360, which is actually the wrong amount. I will quickly mention this one. I thought I had 370. I think Mega Feraliator has 360, or sorry, 370. What am I saying? Yeah, 370, which I ranked in F tier, by the way. Like it's super bad. But the Mega Meganium, I really quickly want to talk about this one. I heard like I got a comment, which everyone has their own opinions, which is like cool and all that. But they were like saying that this card has like you can do a 2-card combo to be swinging for 370 damage. And I said, it's a 10-card. They said there was a combo. And I said, but it's a 10-card combo. They said it's a 2-card combo. So I quickly want to go over it. The 10 cards you need, because they said it's 3 energy on Mega Meganium EX, and then you're doing 370. So you need the single person Meganium, you need Mega Meganium EX, you need 3 energies, you need the basics, 2 stage 1s, and presumably the Stadium Force of Vitality, which they also mentioned. That's 10 cards. Just wanted to mention that. They like argue that it wasn't 10, which seems like a bold argument when it's literally a number. But anyways, yeah, and you probably also want Mega Venusaur, or at least Teal Masturgapon, but whatever. This card is kind of bad though. There's a lot of bad cards from the upcoming set, but it is kind of cool. Then we have the last card here. That's 3 HP Pokemon of all time, which is Mega Venusaur EX, doing damage based off, or no, you move energy around and then you do like damage with a bunch of energy. Yeah, this card is also not very good. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's the highest HP Pokemon of all time. I guess there's also Mega Emboar EX, but I didn't really count that. Mega Venusaur EX probably better anyways. But I will mention lastly that there's probably okay. Well, I think there's Shadow Lugia. Does that have more Pokemon, more HP? Is that even here? Oh, it looks like it's not here. There's like some Shadow Lugia. I think it's not a real card, or it's like not. It's not a playable card. It has like a bunch of HP. There's also the Raid Battle VMAXs, which have more HP. The one has 3,000 HP. They're around 3,000 each. But they're like not really real cards at all. Like I don't even think they physically exist. But I will mention those. And then realistically, I think we are going to get a 400 HP Pokemon. If you look at like standard or whatever. Is there a Venusaur in standard? No. Okay, well, Venusaur is a tanky Pokemon, but it's not one of the tankiest Pokemon ever, specifically Wailord. I think we are going to get a... Wait, no, Wailord doesn't have a Mega. I don't know. I don't know what the biggest Pokemon with a Mega is, but I would not be shocked if we get a 400 HP Pokemon. I feel like that's something Pokemon would want to do. It's not like something that would ruin the game or anything. Like, Mega Venusaur having 380, like, HP just is not that important of a stat. But anyways, I do expect a 400 HP Pokemon at some point. I think it would be cool to see. I don't think it's, like, problematic or anything like that. I've heard people complain about the HPs of the Megas. But mostly like just as a general concept. But in actual practicality, I've never really seen anyone like have an issue with it unless they're playing a deck that's just like really bad. In which case, like if you play against any deck, pretty much you're just gonna lose, and it happens, right? But anyways, I did want to mention that. I had a rant at the end of the video. It's kind of random, but I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and tell me down below any thoughts you have on this video, any suggestions, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.